it's been weird and socially frowned upon to fuck men who are apolitical for like a long fucking time. And I'm not even saying the word Republican right now because it's been weird to fuck Republicans for much longer. Like, it's 2025. There's no way that some of y'all are like, your boyfriends are like fully do not give a fuck in 2025. And you're like, oh, but I love him. Shut up. Having a boyfriend is embarrassing when that is your fucking boyfriend. I don't know what to tell you. It is. You should be embarrassed. That is weird. That is a grown man who is not registered to vote and doesn't know how to do his laundry. What? Like, what's happening? What is happening?
Dude, where are you? Pick up your phone. I'm going to a summer party tonight, and you're obviously invited, so call me back. Okay, I love you. Bye.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to Emotionally Online, the weekly slumber party for spilling guts and sharing secrets, hosted by yours truly, the one and only Maddie Drosbeck. What happens at the sleepover stays at the sleepover. So I'm happy that you're here because we have much to discuss. Life has been happening since I've sat down and chatted on this mic, okay? Because the last episode was filmed on November 1st. I'm filming this episode on November 12th. So I've had quite a few days in between mic to mic, okay? Including Election Day, baby. I have not gotten a chance to gush about how fucking electric Election Day was here in New York. If you haven't heard yet, which would be crazy if you hadn't heard, because I feel like this is all anyone has been talking about within my own orbit and internet space. But the next mayor of New York City is none other than Zohran Mamdani. I have truly never been more excited about something political in the entire time that I have been a politically engaged human. Now, I'm 28 years old, which means the first election that I was able to vote in was Donald Trump's first election. So literally, I've experienced nothing but political disappointment, anger, rage, heartbreak, sadness, confusion, all of the emotions in between. Zohran's mayoral campaign was truly something to behold the whole way through. Him winning the primary was exciting enough for me. Seeing him win the whole damn thing and become the next mayor of New York fucking City. Like, I really think this is the most fired up I have been about a political campaign. This was the first political campaign that I volunteered for. And when I was phone banking for Zohran during the summer, actually getting to be on the phone, talking to New Yorkers, hearing about their voting plans, helping answer any questions that they may have had about Zohran's campaign, like, the whole thing was so inspiring to me. I have felt so confident about this campaign. Winning the primary was fucking huge. And I'll be honest, since he won the primary, I was 100% fucking confident that he was going to win the general. So I went into Tuesday, the vibes in the city, for those of you that aren't here, they were fucking electric. I went down to Syndicated, the little movie theater, bar, restaurant that I like, because I knew that they were going to be showing the results roll in on the big screens. I got there early, got me and my friends a couple of seats at the bar, and we sat there all night and we drank and we screamed and we cheered. I have a video that I'll put in right here of what the vibes were in Bushwick, Brooklyn, when it was first announced that Zohran had won his campaign for mayor. Look at those vibes, people. Look at them. Everyone was cheering. People were making out. Everyone was doing shots, ordering champagne. Like, it was fucking electric. To be in Brooklyn watching a 34-year-old Democratic Socialist win his bid for mayor, like, I just can't explain to you how fucking charged up that room was. And truly, there is nothing better than getting to see Andrew Cuomo lose not once but twice, bitch. Okay, yeah, whatever, major loser. How's it feel to be the biggest fucking loser in all of New York City, New York State? I would say the US, but we got a real big loser in office right now. So really, I was having a great day that Tuesday. That Tuesday, I was on cloud fucking nine, bro. Also, can I just say the Lover Girls were out at Syndicated. I ran into like 4 of you that night at Syndicated, and I was like, loving that we're all congregating here. Loving that something is happening. The wavelengths are permeating through Brooklyn, and the Lover Girls all happen to be at the same place at the same time. I loved it. Okay. You see me with my friends out in public, you come up to me and you say, hey, Maddie, what's up? And I'm going to go, ah, every time. Okay. Loved to see that all the Lover Girls came to the same amazing Bushwick movie theater, bar, and restaurant to watch the results roll in, okay? Loving that we were aligned on that front. I just wish that all of you could have been there, could have been in the room, could have felt what it felt like to be there and not worried at all. Like, truly, when I say I went out that night and I was not concerned, I went out and I was like, we're going to have the best night of our lives. Like, we're going to drink and rage and scream, and it's going to be fucking awesome. And I'm going to, Fortnite emote on the grave of Andrew Cuomo's mayoral campaign. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be fucking awesome. And it was. And I wish you could have been in the room when all of us heard that news and got that reaction, because fuck, it was awesome. It was awesome. So New York City has a hot mayor now. Yeah. What are we going to do, people? Hot Democratic Socialist mayor. What's happening? Okay. Earth is healing. Good things can happen. I love my friends. I love my neighbors. I fucking love New York City. That's how it's done, people. That's how it's fucking done. And what more is there to say about that? And after I was done raging for the election, I had multiple days of raging under my belt. You guys saw what I looked like the day after Halloween. It was not good. I was suffering in the last episode, all right? I was really not doing well. I had multiple days of raging because we went right from Halloween weekend into the election. And so I was out. I was partying. I was having a good time. And you know what? I didn't even tell you guys the extent of how bad Halloween was, because if I said it out loud that day, I would have gotten ill just thinking about it. But I need to tell you guys something I learned on Halloween, which I'm assuming many of you probably learned what I learned on Halloween when you were in college. But see, I'm a little slow on this whole smoking weed thing. I'm a late bloomer in this regard. This is something that I've only really explored in the last 2 months. So I was at Halloween party. I was in my gore makeup. I looked beautiful and sexy and gorgeous. I was drinking wine throughout the course of the night, but I was never drunk. I was just, had a light little wine moment happening for me, but I was drinking over the course of many hours. I was offered weed, and I was in my head like, sure, things are different for me now. My body's different. I used to have crazy anxiety-inducing experiences while high when I was in college, but something's different. The last 2 months, I've been totally fine. I've been, smoking joints. I've had a couple edibles. I've been having a good time. It's been okay. I've done it by myself. I've done it socially. I've done it while drinking out at a bar with Robbie. Like, I have been experimenting, all right? I've been doing what grown 28-year-old women sometimes do. So here I was at this Halloween party. I was not drunk, but I had been drinking, and I was offered weed. Fine on the surface, except not at all, because I was offered a bong hit. Now, when I was offered the bong, it got passed to me, and I said, listen, I wouldn't even know what to do with that thing if I tried. I said that. Okay? And then one of my friends was like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll set it up for you. And I was like, sure, why not? Oh my God. Maybe I should have known better. Maybe. It's possible. I prefer to look at it as like, why did nobody tell me this? Why did nobody warn me? Because I've recounted this story to a couple of my friends, and the second I said the word bong, they were all like, oh. And I was like, hey, why did none of you bitches tell me? What the hell? So I took this one bong hit, and when I tell you within 5 minutes, I went straight back to that place I was in college where I went mute. I forgot words. I thought that I barely knew how to put one foot in front of the other. I had to go to the bathroom and rehearse what I was going to say in order to get myself to leave the party. I saw Robbie and I was like, listen, I got to go, dude. I don't know how to speak English anymore. I got to go. I got to go home right now. But it was like the same experience that I had with weed when I was in college happened again right then, the second I had one hit of that fucking bong. And then I was sitting there thinking, being like, okay, hold on. Because pretty much all the first times that I smoked when I was in college were with this guy that I was dating at the time. And he would always give me, it was never a joint. It was always a bong that he gave me. And I had a bad experience every single time. Why did nobody tell me then? Why did nobody tell me now? Exactly how much more potent one bong hit is versus taking a couple puffs of a fucking joint. No, I knew it was more. I didn't realize how much more, right? Because I can smoke half a joint by myself over the course of like 20 minutes, let's say, and be totally fine. It can be like a very low, manageable social high. One hit of that bong and I transcended to the 18th dimension and forgot what my name was. Like, I needed to go home immediately. And everybody's lucky that I have enough sense about me to know that it was time. I got high and then immediately was like making a plan inside my head for how I needed to get out of there. And I wasn't panicking. I wasn't having a panic attack, mostly because I knew what was going on. So I was like, you know what? I've been here before. I know what's happening. Walk yourself to the bathroom and rehearse what you're going to say. Because I wasn't sure that I knew how to speak. And then at one point, before I actually got up and started getting my things together to leave, one of my friends was talking to me who was also smoking. And he was speaking. And I didn't understand a word he was saying. It was like, and then there was a pause, and I'm like, surely that means he's looking for me to respond to whatever the hell he just said. And I just shrugged. I was like, and I think that was an acceptable response to whatever he said, because he then continued the conversation. And I was like, I don't know what he said. And that's why I shrugged. But I think the shrug was also an acceptable answer to whatever he did say. I don't know. I honestly, I haven't checked in to see how well I was responding socially after I was like, I need to go home. I need to go home and go to bed. It's a wash. But listen, these are the things you have to discover. This is when usually most people probably discover this when they were in college, when they were in their trial and discovery phase. I never had a trial and discovery phase, because the first time that I tried weed, I was like, this is bad. This is bad and terrible. And I feel so anxious and I can't speak anymore. But now I'm like, okay, I think maybe it was an amount thing from the start. I think that maybe I had been given bad information from day one. I will never smoke out of a bong literally ever again. But now I know, and I'm not going to do that ever again. So to any of you out there that maybe don't have much experience smoking weed, or you feel similar to me at all, and maybe you have been smoking joints a little bit, trialing it, whatever. I don't know what your journey looks like, but I'm telling you what my journey is, to tell you, to warn you in advance, to me, present me, reaching out to the future, like, no, to future you, when you're offered a bong, just say no. Just say no. It's not going to be the same. You will go mute and wonder if you can put one foot in front of the other. Just stick to your wine, queen. Stick to your wine and your joints. I think we can manage that. You live and you learn, though. But holy fuck. I had a couple days there where we raged, we celebrated, we partied, and now I'm going back to my old ways, all right? We've got a Diet Coke, yes, the Lord's liquor, and I've been going to bed at 9 p.m. Yeah! Let's hear it for that. 9 p.m. bedtime. Yeah. I've been going full grandmother hours to make up for how atrociously I was down after all of those days of going hard. Listen, life's all about balance. We got to party. We got to celebrate. We got to have a good time. You got to source those good vibes from somewhere. And you got to know when to pack it up and take it home. And I have packed it up and I have taken it home. And I will not be smoking from a bong ever again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Is having a boyfriend embarrassing? This is the question on everyone's lips. A question that we are dying to find the answers to. And guess what? I've got them, babe. If you haven't heard, Vogue published an article called "Is Having a Boyfriend Embarrassing Now?" that has taken the internet by storm, and people are ultimately quite divided on this. They don't need to be. The answers are right in front of us, guys. We can all unite in unison on this, I promise you. If you haven't read the article yet, I'm going to link it in the description of this episode. It's a pretty quick read. Give it a look over if you haven't already. But the article is basically talking about how being in a relationship used to be like a major flex to people, and now it's just not hitting like it once did. In fact, in a lot of social circles, being single is probably seen more favorably than being in a relationship at this point, which is not surprising, right? And we brought this up in passing last week, Meg and I joked in passing that I've been leading the charge on boyfriends being embarrassing for several years, which, you know, half joking, half not here, but I've talked a lot about singlehood on this podcast, on my other social platforms. I don't believe in the hierarchy of relationships, of romantic love being more valuable or important than other kinds of love. I've talked at length about how often I think people settle or feel this pressure to just find someone and stick with them because it starts to grate away on people's self-esteem if they're single for too long, and how I think people's aversion to singlehood ultimately ends them up in relationships that are horrible and miserable and ones that don't aid their life or make their life better in any way. It just makes sure that they aren't by themselves. But in many cases, I believe that being by yourself is better than being with a big mega major loser. In fact, almost every situation, I believe that it's better to be alone than to be with a big mega major loser, right? So this is why I was joking that I've been leading the charge on this. But at the same time, I'm the CEO of Lover Girls Worldwide, okay? I am a lover girl through and through. I love love. I love talking about love. I love daydreaming about love. I long and look forward to the day that I am in love with the right person, right? The duality of woman. Both things can be true at once. I am a lover girl, but that does not mean that I'm accepting anything. In fact, I find that it's usually the opposite. The lover girls are the ones that are going to be single until they meet the right person, not just with someone because they don't want to be alone. That's not what it means to be a lover girl, okay? But you guys knew that. This is Lover Girls HQ, Lover Girls Worldwide, that I'm talking to right now. The article is talking a lot about how people are now more into soft launches. People are blurring their partners' faces in photos, which leads to the question of like, is this shit embarrassing now? Is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? Gone are the days of couples tags and like entire couples YouTube accounts. When I was in high school, who were these people? I remember the girl's name was Savannah. It was like OG Tumblr couple, and they would do couple tag videos on YouTube. And Savannah, I remember her name was Savannah. I don't remember what the guy's name is. Classic. Classic. Do not remember that man at all. But it was like that era of there being so much couples content online, and the rebloggability of those couples posts was crazy. Okay. To be in high school at that time, I spent so much time as a teenager daydreaming about what it would be like to be in a relationship through the lens of becoming a Tumblr couple. Like, I would daydream about being in a relationship so that we could take these horrible, corny Tumblr relationship bait photos with each other. Now, thank God I never got the opportunity to do that, because you guys know that I would have gone balls to the wall on it, and I would have to sit here, mulling over this slideshow of photos that I cooked up at 16 years old. It would be horrible. I would be mortified of it now. Thank God no one wanted to date me in high school, because I would have been all over tumblr.com. Okay? We would have been all over tumblr.com, and we would have succeeded. We would have been mega huge hits on that site, but the universe said, I have bigger plans for you. In the article, the author, Shantae Joseph, I believe, references another article called Boyfriend Land, and she says, for so long we lived in Boyfriend Land. Boyfriend Land is referring to another article written by Tell the Bees in June 2024. I have actually read this article separately before. I love when I'm reading something and it references something else that I already know about and have already read about. I feel fucking like mega brain when that happens. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't need to look it up at all, okay? Because I'm clocked in. Because I've been clocked in on this Boyfriend Land bullshit. And in the Boyfriend Land article, the writer is talking about how on TikTok, over like half the trends that go viral end up being co-opted by people showing off their male partners. And in the article, they're talking about how few of these TikTok trends are the reverse of that. Men showing off their girlfriends or wives. And I'll link the Boyfriend Land article in the description as well, so you can see the examples that they had weaved throughout the article. They had screenshots of a bunch of different TikTok videos and trends and sort of examples of what they're talking about here. But in any case, if you spend any amount of time online, I'm sure you know what we're talking about here. There is an incredible volume of posts going viral every day that is centered on somebody's boyfriend, somebody's male partner specifically, whether it's a trend of showing off your boyfriend's quirky hobbies or documenting him trying a food for the first time, or people online talking about something really weird and annoying their partner did, but in like hee quirky, he's so funny, my boyfriend is so silly kind of way, like that video of on someone's wedding, their husband popped a bottle of champagne right in her face, like pointed it directly at her face and popped the bottle of champagne on her wedding day. Or like, do you remember that video of the guy? Oh, this one haunts me. I like tried to wipe this one from my brain. You've for sure seen it. But that video of that couple, they're at the altar saying their vows, and the husband's vows are like fucking foul. And he says something about her like draining his balls. You fill my belly and you drain my balls, or something like that. He says something horrific, and the bride is just like, oh my God, he's so crazy, he's so silly. And it's like, sorry. What's happening? We're laughing. You're laughing. We're okay. I'm not laughing. Your boyfriend, your husband, whoever the fuck this man is, you're about to marry him, and he, in his vows that are supposed to be talking about your love, your connection, your relationship, how he feels about you, and all he has to say is like, you fill my belly with food and you drain my balls and we'll be A-okay. And it's like, that connects to like the fuck my wife humor of it all. Like, and it's somehow these men get away with being bozos all the time, and everyone's just recording them being like, oh my God, so classic him, my crazy guy over here. Look at this guy. He's crazy. I love him. Love this crazy guy of mine. And it's like, what's happening? All the comments are like, oh, he's just a golden retriever. Look at that golden retriever guy. He didn't know any better. Oh, he's so silly. He didn't know that popping a champagne bottle right in the bride's face was going to be an issue. He's just having a good time. He's just a golden retriever. Like, we treat them like they are children. And there really doesn't exist much of the opposite of this. There's actually infinite amounts of internet trends that are just men making fun of women's interests or belittling them for something. And obviously we don't need social media to know that that's the truth. If you're a woman who moves through the world, you've experienced this in your real life, or really just a non-man. If you are anyone except cisgender man, you have experienced this in your real life. You don't need social media to know that this is real. You know how it feels and how absurdly common it is for men to get away with bad behavior because they've been given the boys will be boys, oh, he's so silly and goofy and crazy cop out their entire lives. And the Boyfriend Land article ends with this quote. We point our cameras at the things we love. In a patriarchal society, it stands to reason that more often than not, these values will be reflected. In recent times, however, this has curdled into something ominous, at least to me. It's probably a coincidence that this content is so popular on TikTok as Roe is repealed and trad wife numbers rise, right? There simply can't be a connection. But what do I know? I'm just a hater without a boyfriend, which I thought was brilliant. Okay, but going back to the Vogue article, is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? People are more into soft launches, blurring their partner's faces in photos. Is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend? Let's talk about it. I think it's a couple things. Number one, parasociality is through the fucking roof. I understand why people value privacy in their relationships and wouldn't want to be public or super public until they're further into a relationship. It is vulnerable. So in some ways, I understand the soft launching, wanting people to know you're in a relationship, but not wanting people to know the identity of that person because of how intense and parasocial people can be about relationships specifically. I do understand that part of it, at least for public figures and people who are, have some kind of following or have people that will be consuming their content or that could be overly invested in that relationship in some way. However, there's much more than this, right? But I did wanted to call that out, that I do understand the, I don't know if I totally understand the blurring of faces, but I understand the idea of a soft launch and why that is appealing to people. Personally, I wouldn't blur faces. I think to me, if I have to blur a face, I'm just not going to post the photo. But I understand the appeal of a soft launch and wanting to be publicly in a relationship, but private about who it's with, or not wanting people to have all those details because parasocial behavior is just really taken off these days. But with that being said, there is some truth to the embarrassing part of it as well. Not necessarily in being in a relationship or being public about being in love. I love seeing people in love, fucking obviously. But I hate seeing people lose themselves in a relationship, or in the case of content creation or people whose jobs are more creative and more connected to who they are. And all of a sudden, all of their content or all of their art becomes about that relationship. It is off-putting to see people be swallowed by their relationships and the people that they're dating, and seeing who they were as a single person, as an independent person, become totally unrecognizable when they are with someone else. I find that off-putting, as I'm sure most people do. And I also think it's the same reason why people find certain dating TikTok creators really off-putting. Molly Rudder is one of them. And there's that other girl who I do not know the name of, but she was the one who kept making videos saying that she met her husband and they were on date 4 or date 5, and she would do these debriefs. Her whole entire content strategy, both of these people, their whole content strategy is just talking about their dating lives and exposing every part of it, doing updates on every date, before, during, and after. These people expose every part of the process, and people have really intense reactions to them. But to me, it's the same energy as people who enter a relationship and start doing that. These people just aren't waiting to be cuffed to be monetized. But it's off-putting to almost everybody when people start dating or enter a relationship and all of a sudden it's all they fucking talk about is being in that relationship or dating this person or that person, whoever the fuck it is. Your whole life is revolving around who you're dating and who you are within the context of those relationships. It's off-putting to people if that's the only part of you that exists. If you can be swallowed whole by the dating corner of your life, it is off-putting. And it's also obviously very political. Some of y'all's boyfriends are embarrassing in a straight up derogatory way. They're non-voters. They don't know how to run a dishwasher. They use ChatGPT for everything, including helping them write you love notes, which isn't a love note, by the way. In fact, it's more like a curse, and many of you need to be calling Etsy witches for the hexes that your boyfriends are putting on you when they write you love notes using ChatGPT. Also, can I just say, I am so grateful that this holiday season, I will not be with someone who is asking ChatGPT what to get me for Christmas. Thank fuck. It's a beautiful time to be single, okay? We can't get abortions. They want to make you feel bad for using condoms and being on birth control. And y'all's boyfriends don't give a fuck enough to know something about you to get you a thoughtful gift or write you a genuine love note. They're using ChatGPT for that shit. I need a gun. So how about them apples? Having a boyfriend is embarrassing because a lot of your boyfriends can't hear the sentence having a boyfriend is embarrassing without crashing the fuck out and saying something misogynistic in the process. So here's my take, because I think a lot of people got real butthurt and angry about this article. And I think if you were a part of that group, you missed the point of it entirely. Being chosen by a man is no longer a form of social currency that is going to resonate with other people. There has to be more to you, to your life, to your art, to the things you contribute and create than just the man you are associated with or in love with. Sorry. I want to see you in love. I love love. I love hearing love stories. I love all the mushy gushy gooey things. Absolutely. And I also want to see you thriving as an individual, totally separate and outside of that relationship. And also, I just felt like the backlash to that article was really giving the not all men group just came out to be like, because everyone that I know that is in a relationship with a man who saw that article was like, no, yeah, for sure. No, yeah, for sure. Love my boyfriend. I'm literally in love with him. Can't wait to marry that man. Mwah. Love you, boo. And also, totally agree with the article. Like, it's just, some of you need to relax. Men are so out of fashion these days. It is embarrassing. Come on, look at the state of the fucking world. Is it shocking that people would be like, ugh, men, they're just not hitting like they used to? Like, yeah. What do you mean? Please, for the love of God, stop dying on the sword of not all men because your weird boyfriend didn't like the title of an article he didn't even read. Goodbye. No, but literally, imagine dating someone who asks ChatGPT what to get you for Christmas. Guys, we're taking those wins. We're taking those wins. We're taking stock of them. Is having a boyfriend embarrassing? Like, yeah. In a mean way, to some of you, yes. In a general, more worldly, inquisitive sense, yes. But I do mean it in a derogatory way to a few of you. Definitely. Definitely. Those of you with non-voter boyfriends who barely knows how to clip his toenails, I mean it in a derogatory way to you. To you, I do mean it in a derogatory way. Having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Side eye. To you, I do. Okay? But mostly we're talking about it in a much more large scale sense. Nobody's talking about your specific boyfriend. Unless your specific boyfriend is a fucking loser, in which case we are talking about him. In which case we are shit talking your loser boyfriend. Like, we gotta get a grip, people. We got to lock in a little bit. Are you getting what I'm saying? Are we here? Are we dancing together? But listen, guys, it is not an insignificant number of people dating men who are fucking weird. Like, it is not an insignificant number of people who are dating men who are like wholly apolitical, who are indifferent at best to anything that's going on that impacts not only those close to them, but like their neighbors and community at large. But like, this is not new, right? It's been weird and socially frowned upon to fuck men who are apolitical for like a long fucking time. And I'm not even saying the word Republican right now because it's been weird to fuck Republicans for much longer. Like, it's 2025. There's no way that some of y'all are like, your boyfriends are like fully do not give a fuck in 2025. And you're like, oh, but I love him. Shut up. Having a boyfriend is embarrassing when that is your fucking boyfriend. I don't know what to tell you. It is. You should be embarrassed. That is weird. That is a grown man who is not registered to vote and doesn't know how to do his laundry. What? Like, what's happening? What is happening? Every single one of us listening to this show right now has witnessed a brilliant, smart, talented, capable, plugged in, caring, thoughtful woman be absolutely shot in the kneecaps by a man who is not even 1/10 of her gorgeousness. For why? I don't fucking know. So yeah, it is kind of fucking embarrassing. I don't know. To me, I just am like, I'm too old and this shit's been going on for too long for it to even still be a question at this point. Like, when people have submitted to the submission box for this show, I mean, I read out some of the submissions on the show where people do have wild boyfriends. Most of the time, I don't pick those submissions because it would be exhausting if I came on here every week, like, break up, he's a loser. But sometimes when they're particularly juicy, I will read them out on the show. But like, I don't often know what to say when it's like in 2025 and people are like, my boyfriend didn't vote. And he kind of thought that Trump made some good points. Like, should I stay with him? It's like, no. Sorry, what? What's happening? No. Hello? The president's a pedophile and women can't get abortions. So what? So, sorry, I'm like having trouble following the logic, the train of thought here. Should I keep fucking this man who really doesn't care if I live or die? Like, no. Hey, no. I like don't have a lot of wisdom to impart there at this point. It's 2025. Like, it's been weird to be on that train for a while. It's not new. So yeah, it is embarrassing because we've had ample time to like adjust to the world we're living in and react to people and accept the people in our life that are not going to change or just aren't with it and don't get it. And if you still are choosing to be with someone like that at this point, I don't know what to say. I don't. Yeah, it is embarrassing. And it's a significant enough portion of people that we can write an entire article called Is Having a Boyfriend Embarrassing? And those same people that the article is about are the same people that are going to go not all menning all over the fucking comment section of the Vogue article. 100%. So, you know, it's a beautiful thing to have a nuanced conversation on the impact of dating men in a world like the one that we're in right now. But those same loser dudes will still override the whole conversation by being like, not all of us. And it's like, well, if you're saying not all of us, it's probably you. It's probably you. You're probably one of the annoying ones, actually. But, you know, it's actually much bigger than that. It's not about your specific boyfriend, unless it is. In which case, break up with them. So, is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend? You tell me. You tell me, sister. Is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend? If you were bothered by that article, your boyfriend might be embarrassing. And we'll leave it at that. All right, a little bit of a shorter show today, but I'm going to throw it on over to the post show because I recently found my old Finsta from college. And as you can imagine, there are horror stories in that bitch. And I haven't gone through it yet. So we're going to go do that. We're going to deep dive into my college psyche. over on the post show. So if you're interested in joining the Patreon, feel free to come over, come hang with us. And if not, I will see you guys next week. How about that? Okay? Love ya. Break up with your loser boyfriends. Mwah.